How's it, grade 11 and 12 math learners? If you've ever looked at a counting problem in an exam and just thought, where do I even start? Then you've come to the right place. Today, we're unlocking a super powerful tool called Factorial notation. Seriously, this is the secret weapon that's going to help you turn those confusing arrangement and probability questions into easy mark.
Okay, let's jump straight in with a classic exam-style problem. Imagine you've got 5 different textbooks. How many unique ways can you actually line them up on a shelf? Just think about it for a second. You could have maths first, then science, or maybe science first, then English. The possibilities start to get a bit crazy pretty quickly, eh?
So if we did it the long way, you'd have 5 choices for the first spot on the shelf, right? Then you've only got 4 books left for the second spot, then 3 for the next, and so on. If you multiply all that out, you get a massive 120 different ways. Now imagine trying to do that calculation in a stressful exam. It just takes way too long.
But what if I told you there's a much faster way, a neat little mathematical shortcut to get that answer in a fraction of the time? Well, that's exactly what this is all about. We're going to master something called factorial notation.
So what on earth is this factorial notation? You've definitely seen this exclamation mark in your textbook. Now in maths, it's not there to show that something is exciting. Well, maybe it is, but its real job is to give us a very specific instruction.
The definition is actually really simple. N factorial, which we write as n with an exclamation mark, just means you multiply that number by every single whole number all the way down to 1. So our book problem, that 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, can just be written as 5 factorial. It's the exact same thing, just way neater. And 5 factorial is 120.
Right, now here is something you absolutely 100% must memorize for your exams. 0 factorial, or 0 fact, is equal to 1. I know, it seems a bit strange, but it's a mathematical rule that makes all the other, more advanced formulas work. Examiners love to slip this in as a trick question, so please burn this into your memory. 0 factorial equals 1.
Now for the really cool part, simplifying factorials. In your exams, you'll almost never have to calculate the massive number a factorial can be. Instead, what they really want to see is if you can simplify expressions smartly and often without a calculator. Let's see how it's done.
Take a look at this. 8 factorial divided by 6 factorial. Your first thought might be to start calculating 8 times 7 times 6 and so on. But stop, there is a much more elegant way to solve this.
So here's the trick. First, we expand the bigger factorial, which is 8 factorial. But, and this is the clever part, we only expand it until we reach the smaller one, 6 factorial. So 8 factorial becomes 8 times 7 times 6 factorial. Now you can see we have a 6 factorial on the top and on the bottom. So what do? We cancel them out. And all that's left is a super simple sum, 8 times 7, which gives us 56, no calculator needed at all.
Okay, so now that we know how to simplify them, let's actually apply them. This is where factorials become your go-to tool for all those common exam questions about arrangements. You know, the problems that ask how many ways you can order different things?
Right, here's a huge exam tip. When you're reading a question, keep your eyes peeled for these keywords. If you see words like arrange, order, distinct, in a row, or if it says without repetition, a little alarm bell should go off in your head, that's a massive clue that a factorial is probably what you need to use.
So let's go back to our very first question. How many ways can you arrange 5 different books? Now that we know about factorial notation, we don't need that long multiplication. We just see arrange and 5 different books, and we know the answer is just 5 factorial, which is 120. See how much faster that is? It's a game changer. Okay, this is where it all comes together. We're going to use this powerful counting skill to solve probability questions. And trust me, this is where you can pick up some guaranteed marks in your exams, because the method for solving these is always the same. We all know the basic formula for probability, right? It's simply the number of ways your desired event can happen divided by the total number of things that could possibly happen. Well, factorials are a tool to find both the top and the bottom of that fraction quickly and accurately. Let's use a simple example. You have 3 people. Let's call them A, B, and C, and they're sitting in 3 chairs, all in a row. What is the probability that they sit in one exact order? Say A, then B, then C.
First things first, we need the bottom of our probability fraction, the total number of possible outcomes. Since we are arranging 3 different people in a row, the total number of ways they can sit is simply 3 factorial, and 3 times 2 times 1 gives us 6 total possible arrangements.
Next up, we need the top of our fraction, our favorable outcomes. The question asks for the probability of them sitting in one specific order. How many ways can that one specific order happen? Well, only one way. So our number of favorable outcomes is 1. And now, we just put it all together. The probability is the favorable outcomes divided by the total outcomes. That's just 1 divided by 6. So the probability of those 3 people sitting in that one specific order is 1/6. Easy as that. All right, great work. Before we finish up, let's quickly go over the most important exam tips, just to make sure you're ready to get all those marks. Please, guys, try to avoid these common mistakes. Don't forget that 0 is 1. Always, always look to cancel and simplify factorial fractions before you even think about calculating anything. And remember, factorials are for arrangements where the order matters.
Okay, now it's your turn. Here are 3 typical exam questions. I want you to pause this now, give them a try in your book, and then press play when you're ready to go through the solutions.
Right, let's check those answers. For number 1, 6 factorial is 720. For number 2, you should have expanded 7 factorial to 7 times 6 times 5 factorial, cancelled the 5 factorials, and you're left with 7 times 6, which is 42. And for number 3, the word empty has 5 distinct letters, so the number of arrangements is 5 factorial, which is 120. Well done if you got all those right.
So, just remember the main idea from all of this. Factorials are not here to make maths harder. They are a powerful shortcut designed to make counting a huge number of arrangements much, much simpler. Once you get the hang of them, they're your best friend in probability. Always remember this. Factorials are how we turn the chaos of a million possibilities into a single, neat calculation. Once you master this tool, you are well on your way to mastering probability. Keep practicing, and you will ace those questions in your exam.